All right, well, ahead of President Obama's visit to Costa Rica today, just this week, protesters there burning cardboard cutouts of the president, telling him to get out. Time for us to stop shelling out. Costa Rica is expected to get about $1.8 million in aid from us this year. They've gotten tens of millions over these many years. And military security analyst Aaron Cohen says, maybe we just have to reconsider all of this. You know, Aaron, I see this time and time again. I know you can't buy countries' love, but I'll be damned if I put a deposit on their hate. But that's what we keep doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's the definition of insanity, Neil, where, we keep doing the same thing over and over again and we're expecting different results. And unfortunately, it's just insane. That's the reason why it's labeled like that. The deal in Costa Rica, I think speaks pretty clearly. I think that there's a very significant difference between the apparent belief of the Costa Ricans or of these people that are burning pictures of President Obama and the actual event, meaning we have to really have a close look at what the true belief system is of these people in these countries that we're loaning money to. For instance, Mexico, who we've given, who we give almost $1 billion a year to, and is our third largest trading partner and stretches over 2,000 miles on our border. It's a relatively poor country, and it's a problem because we really have to make sure we know that A, where the money is going, and B, that it's going to a country that is not only going to use the funds for their security, for their economic growth, and to make sure that they're putting out the right fires that we're giving them the money to use, but to make sure that they're accountable for the money. And if they don't want
they're not.
They have to have a little
Aaron,
close
to
look.
your point, they're not. And what happens is, especially in this ring in Egypt, right? We've given that government, $60 billion, the Hosni Mubarak government over the years, to say nothing about the hundreds of millions we promised to the Muslim Brotherhood, which is effectively running the show in Egypt now. So we kind of buy to choose our friends, but our friends quickly turn on us.
Yeah, and it's historically true, Neil. You're absolutely right. With the case with Egypt, obviously the money that we're spending, the billions of dollars that we're pumping into that country right now, which is effectively turning into an Islamist state, festering and inciting and recruiting terror before our eyes,
Same in Pakistan, right? It's in hyperdrive in Pakistan.
Hyperdrive in Pakistan, hyperdrive in Yemen, all these different countries that are so corrupt internally that we can't put our finger on where the funds are going. And it's no different with a country that's burning photos of our president.
So why don't we just stop? Regardless of the president, you're exactly right. So why don't we just stop and let's sort this out before we keep compounding the error by giving more funds?
Well, because the system right now needs to have a kick in the butt, and we need to have a very hard look. We need leadership who's going to have a hard look at what the actual response is by the people living in these countries that we're spending billions of dollars on. It's got to start from the top, and it's got to happen soon because we're going to find ourselves in more hot water.
Ron Paul says just stop the spigot. Don't slow it down. Just turn the faucet off, period. What do you think?
I agree. I say turn it off. The problem is that when you turn off a faucet, when it's running at a very high rate and the pressure is very high, then people get shaken up. And unfortunately, the faucet of the way our leadership is functioning in terms of being able to just cut that off is a little too much pressure. It's got to be done a little bit slower. But I agree with him. I think it needs to be done quickly, and I think it needs to be done without any question.
Aaron, thank you. Aaron Cohen in L.A.
Thanks, man.